it's Michelle, and I've got a super fun project for you guys today. If you guys can see how big this is, we're going to be making a giant Christmas card. This is so much fun, and I think you guys are going to love this. A giant Christmas card would be great for a whole group of grandkids, maybe to give to their grandparents at Christmas time, or a class to give to their teacher, a Sunday school class for their pastor or their Sunday school teacher. Anywhere you're going to be given from a group, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So what I have here is just a poster board that I folded in half. It started out at 22 by 28. So we folded this in half and we've got 22 by 14. And that is a little bit off of the ratio we need. So I've marked a line here at 19, and I'm just going to cut that through both layers at once. So we'll have 14 when folded, because it's the 28 folded in half. And all I did was just bring that in, line up the edge and fold it in half and crease the edge. And that did leave a little bit of wrinkling along the edge, but we're going to put that on the back side. And then I just kind of burnished to get some of those back out, and you can hardly see them. So this is at 19 inches high. You could do this before you crease it, and you could cut 19 inches all the way across the width of that 28-inch poster board. But I think with folding it in half, it's a lot easier. So I don't know if you guys can see my line that I marked on there with my metal straight edge. I'm going to see if I can get in here sideways, kind of around the camera, to cut that off. And you want to make sure both layers are together if you're cutting both layers at once, so that you don't get an offset. And then there we have our giant card base at 14 by 19. I also have two pieces of white poster board here that I have cut to 13 by 18 that we can mat on there like that. And then one for the inside, because if you've got a group given this card, then you want room for lots of signatures and everything inside, and I think that would be so much fun. Maybe a group of employees to their boss, that would be a lot of fun. And as you guys can see, I have a piece of freezer paper here, glossy side up, taped down to my counter, and that is so that I can do some inking in a minute, and I can't wait to show you that. First, I'm going to put some glue on the back side of this one and go ahead and put that on the inside. And I'm just using my Elmer's Extreme glue stick. It's a little bit larger of a glue stick, so it's easier to work with on this large poster board. And they even make a jumbo glue stick in Elmer's if you wanted to get that. But the glue stick dries quickly, so I really like to work with those. Okay, I'm going to pick that up very carefully, open up my card base, and then just center this inside. With an even border all around. And then just press it down. And there's your nice light colored inside for signatures and little notes that people might want to write in there. So I'm going to close that up, set that aside, and show you guys a little bit what I'm going to do on ink blending. So this is going to be the one that I'm matting onto the front of the card. And the first thing I want to do is to create a little scene on there. So my thought was that I wanted to do some snowbanks along here, and I wanted to cut some glittery cardstock into curved snowbank shapes. But this is 13 inches wide and my cardstock is only 12. So I had to come up with another solution. So I decided to ink it on. And I don't have much ink either. I only have the small ones. I don't know how far it's going to go, but we're going to see what we can do and get as far as we can with it. Okay, so I have another piece of my leftover trimmings from my poster board here that I cut into some snowbank shapes. Oops, actually I need to turn that the other way using this negative space below. And then with some painter's tape, I'm just going to tape that in place so that it doesn't move around on me when I'm inking. And then I've got my ink blending tool. And I just found my light blues that I had. I had some Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Tumbled Glass and the Memento Dewdrop in Summer Sky. So we're just going to kind of mix the two and see what we end up with. They're pretty close in color. And I'm going to get some ink onto my blending tool. And I'm going to come in and just sort of make a little bit of a border at the top of what is the edge of our snowbank there. And really we just want enough of a hint of blue that we can see that line. And let's pull that up and see what we've got. I think that actually looks very good. I think that's enough to create that snowbank. So you can see there that it's just enough that it shows that border. Now I'm going to peel off my tape because I want to flip my homemade stencil here and do it the opposite way so that my snowbanks run in a different direction. And I'm keeping them fairly low on my scene here, and you guys will see why in a little while. I think I'm going to put it about like that. And tape it down so it doesn't move on me. And I'm going to do the same thing with that one. I just barely want the illusion of some shadow to define that hill. And it would be hard to ink on such a large thing otherwise. But since we're just inking a little bit of an outline, I think it turns out pretty good. I'm going to come in with a little bit of my Summer Sky here. And then just slightly feather that out into the lower part of our heel there. We're not actually going to see a lot of that anyway. I just want a little bit of that outlined so that we've got the idea. And that's going to get covered up, and you'll see here in a few minutes what I'm going to do on that. Okay, I'm going to move my ink over here to the right side. And I'm going to turn this sideways so I can work on the top of my sky here and maybe try to get a little bit of a blue look toward the top for the sky. And we're not doing much. It's pretty much a completely white background. We're just using the blue just to hint at a little bit of definition and outline. So I'm going to come around my edges a little bit too. And I may have to walk around the other side of my kitchen island to get to some of it. Okay, and I'm going to try to build that up a little more with some of my summer sky. Both of these ink pads are kind of a little bit dry. If I had newer ones or if I had full-size ones, it would have worked out a lot better. If I had known ahead of time that I was going to do this, I would have tried to make sure to get those, but the idea really just came together in the past day or two. I already had the poster boards and everything on hand. So that's feathering down a little bit. And in from the sides. And I'm using a very light touch. And if you had a juicier ink pad, you would definitely want to make sure that you used a light touch, because you don't want to see circles the shape of your blending tool there. So that's enough around the sides, I think. And I'm just going to see if I can bring that sky look down a little bit farther from the top. Okay, and that is what we've got. I think I actually like that a lot. Maybe round out my corners. Feather those down a little more, so we get kind of a rounded look to the white area there. And this is not going to be completely smooth with the ink blending here, but that's okay, because with a sky it can look a little blotchy, and that's okay. Okay, so I think that looks good, and I'm going to leave it like that. And now, to define those heels a little bit better, I'm going to use my Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen, which just adds a little bit of sparkle. But that ink does react with water, and this is water-based, so it will sort of blend out that color a little more too. So I'm just going to, on a scrap here, squeeze that and make sure that I've got plenty of liquid flowing out. And I'm going to outline my hillside. Keep squeezing it to make sure I get plenty, because we're working on a pretty large scale here. And then after I get that very defined line, I can come back and sort of just blend it toward the bottom a little bit. And just pull that sparkle down. Blend out that color a little bit. And then I'm going to hold that up so you guys can see the sparkle on my hillside there. I'm going to squeeze some out here and do the same thing on my little hill at the bottom here. Making that wide outline. And then I'll come back and blend it out. Okay. And on this bottom edge, that brings our sparkle all the way to the bottom. Okay, now for the main scene on our card. Here is the secret to creating a giant card, at least in my mind it is. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my freezer paper here. I'm done with that. And we'll just work on our card base. Okay, so like I was saying, the secret to creating a giant card, in my mind, is this right here. And I found this at Big Lots. I hope you guys can see. It's called wall art, and it's just stickers that are made to decorate your wall for Christmas time. But I just thought that was a beautiful scene with the reindeer and the sleigh, and it even has a Merry Christmas sentiment. So that was the winning feature there that caused me to buy this particular one. It did say Merry Christmas, and that's a sentiment for my giant card. So I'm just going to open that up and take these out and create our giant card scene. And that makes it super simple to put a card together. So I'm going to bring this up here and kind of center that and make sure that I've got it straight. And that looks pretty straight to me, so I'm going to go ahead and press it down. And you can see that fit perfectly into the little curve of our sky blending up there. And I think this card is going to be gorgeous. I am so excited about this card. So I'm going to put my reindeer there, standing on the hillside, and press him down. Scoot that up so it's a little more in frame for you guys. And now I'm going to put the sleigh, and you can see here that it's covering up some of those lines like I told you, and really we've just got enough of some blending there to just kind of imply some hillsides. And now we'll put some of our snowflakes. I think I'll save that largest one there and not add it in, because we've got so many large images already. And on this one here, I'm going to cut it right in half. And that's going to help it go a little bit farther. And we can sort of make them like they're coming from off the edge. I'm leaving a little bit of a border there, because I am going to outline this with some silver tape. And let's see, we'll have another one here. And now I'm going to take my pretty silver tape and outline the entire thing just as a little bit of a matted look, and then we'll be ready to put the whole thing on our card front. And if my pieces are a little long, that's okay. We'll wrap them around to the back, and that'll give an even more finished look. And one across the bottom. And then I'm just going to fold these to the back and stick them to the back side there. Fold everything under. And we are ready to put that onto our card base. So I'm going to flip it over so we can glue the back. Make sure all of my washi tape sort of border there is laying down nicely. And then I'm just going to apply my Elmer's Extreme glue stick. And you want to make sure you get around the edges very well so that nothing comes peeling up at the edge. And then some all in between. We want it to hold good. Roll that up a little more. I think this card is absolutely gorgeous. If you guys can't find the wall art anywhere, I got mine at Big Lots, but I think I've seen some similar at Walmart as well. But if you can't find the wall art stickers, then you can try maybe cutting out the front of a large gift box that's already decorative with a scene on there. Or even you could cut out the front of a gift bag. But I just love the way this one turned out with the scene from the wall art stickers. I think it would be great to give as a Christmas card from a group with plenty of room inside for signatures. I just love this. Okay, so I zoomed way back and propped it up a little bit from underneath to try to get the glare off of it so that you guys could see. And I've got a pencil in there for reference so you can tell a little bit more about the size. And I will try to get some even better photos for you guys. I think this card is just beautiful and so much fun. So you guys be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of my giant Christmas card. I had so much fun, and I think this may be my favorite project this year. I just love it. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me a like over on my Facebook page, and be sure to join our Facebook group, Craftie Minds. Also, follow me on Pinterest and Instagram, and don't forget to visit my blog. I'll have all the links in the description below, so be sure and check them out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.